Hello, this is Duntov. Today I'm at the Mirage site here. So as you can see, I'm on the side of the property. It is, by the way, Friday, August 29, 2025. So I'm on the side of the property on top of the Treasure Island parking deck. It is about 11:35 a.m. It is going to be the start of a busy holiday weekend, so I wanted to come out to get some views, because I normally do a video on Mondays, and I know Monday there won't be anything going on. We can see both of the tower cranes here spinning right now. This back crane has something on its cable. It looked like it was flopping around pretty quick. Alright, so that back crane was bringing something up, and this front crane was just finished with something, and now they are going to pick up something else. Alright, but why I came to this corner where I'm at, I'm sure you've seen, I've talked about it actually in my last video I did here, and I will put the link in my description of the video. So they are going to be auctioning off some artwork, some statues, the famous dolphins that were out front by the volcano. A lot of artwork though, so they're going to be auctioning that stuff off. It's already live where you could pre-bid, and then I think the actual live date is September 20th. So you can check it out, but I wanted to show you where they're storing all the... I've showed these before, but this is all the stuff that's like the statue stuff that is for sale on the auction. So if we look, you can see that black pickup truck, and look in there, and we have all the dolphins, and some of the other statues. So if you go on that website, the auctioneer website, check it out. Some of these things weigh thousands of pounds, but it's pretty interesting. I haven't been on there in probably like 4 or 5 days, and all of these bronze dolphins, they were all over 2,200. I think they had the estimated sale price, I think it was like 4,000 to 6,000 each. So it's interesting if you want a piece of Mirage history. Check it out. You can bid on them items, bring them to your house. Okay, so now that we're on this side, we can see right here we have this orange and black like crane thing. And if we look below, we can see some steel going in. I never noticed this before from the front. I never saw it, and then if I'm on the other side of this parking deck in front of it kind of blocks it. So it looks like they are building some kind of structure here with this, with the steel beams. Let me zoom in. It looks like, it's hard to tell. There might be someone on the corner. I can't tell if that's a person or just seeing things. That might be what they're lowering down. I can't even tell. Alright, so we do have some kind of structure going up. That would kind of be If I'm not mistaken, because I used to come up here to see the atrium they were taking apart, that could be in the atrium area right there. If you remember, or I don't know if you remember, but I've seen like aerial shots and they would show where the atrium was and the roof was still open there. So maybe they're building something up out of that area right now. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see. Alright, so now I'm gonna look. I'm like getting distracted looking around while I'm talking here, but in the background we can see Caesar's Palace sign. You can see the Paris, the Eiffel Tower there, the hot air balloon. If we look at the hot air balloon, back behind there I see a crane. If I had to guess, I would say that is at the ballpark over there, the athletics ballpark. I only see one. I don't see the tower crane next to it. So this might be the new crane that they were just putting together yesterday. I would say like the tower crane and everything would be right behind where that Caesar's Palace sign is. Maybe I'll move down a little bit, see if we could see it back there. But that's the proximity of the, you know, where the Tropicana site is. Okay, so we got both cranes that lifted something up, but we can see here this front crane's kind of cool view. They're lowering down a form and you can see the two workers on top of the rebar cage there. They get that going really quick. You can see how I'm trying to lock it into place. There we go. That's crazy. See just how quick they're climbing around all that stuff there. Sorry for the shake, I'm just zoomed in so far here. And look, they already disconnected that, so that's how quick they got that form around that rebar cage. Pretty impressive. Alright, if we look, I could also see they always have like the part of the concrete pump. We can see the arm here. They usually move them around between the two sides, but today if we look, they actually have them on. Both sides have the arms on it. You can see one right next to where the tower crane is. So they're going to be pumping a lot more concrete. You know, it seems like every week it seems like these levels go up quicker and quicker. So, and we can see that right here. Oh, it actually looks like they're moving the one arm around, so they must be pumping concrete today. You can see now this one's all, you can see right there, they're moving it. All right, so we can see right next to it that they're climbing up this other cage here. I'll bet you when that crane's gonna pick up a form now for this one. So the one thing I like about shooting up here on the parking deck, of course we get a good view now of all the, better view of the construction. If you saw my last video I did here over the wall, I like to be seeing stuff over the wall, get a different perspective, but I do still get a lot of comments about the annoying noise pollution on that side along the strip. You got the music, you got the wax museum. So yeah, it's a little annoying. All right, we can see the smaller crane moving around right now. So whatever they were lowering into place. Okay, I just heard the horn again. Let's look. Yep, so they got another form going up. So this has only been not even 5 minutes time. And they should be swinging this over to them two people that are on the top of that rebar cage. Getting a little warm up here. The sun's shining right on me. Again, shout out to all these construction workers. How they have to deal with all this heat all summer long. Hopefully it doesn't last too much longer. But it's warm. They should be going over to these two people right there. You can see how big that form is compared to the workers there. That's crazy. Look how that whole thing just like moved over. Okay, it looks like they got it ready to lower. Let's just see how they guide it down. Really impressive how fast and how they move along with all this. Alright, I'm gonna move down to the other corner there, get a little more of a straight shot in there. Or actually I'm gonna go to my right first. I'm gonna see if we could see any of the cranes at the Tropicana site. Alright, I was trying to see, there's just too many buildings in the way. I can't see any cranes down that way. Alright, they were just moving the concrete pump arm around again. I can't really tell on the viewfinder. I'm just going to zoom in, and maybe after it's downloaded we'll be able to see exactly what they're working on. Thank you for all the comments. Like, I got a lot of them, especially at the other site, at the Tropicana site for the ballpark. I'd like to thank a lot of the crew working on the site for the information about the cranes and about the concrete pours. I enjoy coming out watching all you guys working on this thing, and thanks for the heads up information there. Hope you don't mind me filming. Maybe you guys see yourself in the video. Hope you don't mind, because I know we enjoy watching. A lot of us enjoy it. Okay, so now those guys up there, they just, let me get my bearings to find them. They'll be on this side here. We can see, looks like they put the form in, but now they climb back up, and oh, I think they're disconnecting it right now. Yeah, it looks like they're disconnecting the cable. Alright, I'm going to move on down to my left, go to the other corner of the deck, try to see if we could see anything else there. Alright, I just moved down. So we actually, the two people on that one cage, they're still there, and they still have the cable hooked up, so I'm not sure what they're doing. Alright, I'm getting distracted. You can see the arm, they're actually moving that out. I'm just gonna pan around, we'll look at the different levels here. Alright, I can hear the bells going off, so that means it's 12 o'clock noon right now. If we look up at the, so I'm kind of even on with the side, we could see where they're making the guitar shape. I mean, you got all the forms up and all that right now, but that's the side, you know, that's going to be going out. If you saw Monday's video, how they are starting to put on the other side of the building, they're putting the outline like of the guitar shape, pretty much I guess where they're gonna mount all the windows and stuff. They're starting to put that on the other side of the tower. Okay, let's see what this back crane's lifting. Looks like more rebar. This one moves really fast. Okay, so it's pretty impressive. You know, I never saw them using the concrete pump up here. We could see how far out that they make these arms go. They could reach every spot, obviously, you know, wherever they need. So it looks like they're gonna start pumping into these forms on the end of the tower here on this right or left side here. Okay, you can see the end, so they're not pumping anything yet. And I don't see any of the crew around there to start anything, but so this is kind of interesting. Let me zoom out so we can see the right side. You can see they already got like the forms up for the floors, and where it's like one floor ahead of this other side. If you compare the two there, you could see, you know, how they're moving along. Alright, so I'm starting to see people going over to that form there. We'll see if they start pumping any concrete into that one. See, someone just got up there. I actually have two of them, so maybe they'll fill that up real quick and move to the next. Not sure what that was. It looked like he was lowering something down into there. It's really bright though. It's hard for me to tell what I'm looking at, but could that be some of them cooling tubes that they're using at the other site? Oops, sorry for the shade. I'm guessing, you know, they're trying to get these poured by this weekend since it's a 3-day holiday weekend. That way when they come back they can start, you know, get ready to start removing the forms off. So from here I can't tell if they're pumping any concrete yet, but pretty amazing watching all this. All right, so as you can see, I was out at both places twice this week. I'm gonna try to get out here more often because there's so much going on now on both sites, so I'm gonna try to get out, you know, twice a week, try to space it around though a little bit, and you know, that way keep updated on what's going on over here. So if you'd like to follow along and you are not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, Raiders1967. Get updates on this Hard Rock transformation, as well as the old Tropicana, new Las Vegas Athletics ballpark getting built. And if there's anything you like about the video, if you could give me a thumbs up, that'd be greatly appreciated. And again, I love getting the comments and, you know, just give your opinion, what you think, what you like, what you don't like. Any suggestions? You know, I try to read them all, so I'd like to thank everybody for watching. Have a good holiday weekend, and I will talk with you guys next time.